Yes, the dreaded fatal strike. His dagger finally pierced the Ant King's armor. Fatal strike was a skill that dealt extra damage when striking an enemy's weak point. With cracks spidering across the Ant King's entire exoskeleton, the creature's body had become one giant, vulnerable target. Tens of fatal strikes rained down consecutively, each one finding its mark, tearing into the cracks of the Ant King's exoskeleton, chipping away at both his defenses and his resolve. A sharp notification chimed. Skill Fatal Strike has been upgraded to its ultimate version, Skill Mutilation. Mutilation? Jinwoo blinked, a spark of exhilaration lighting his eyes. Without hesitation, he put his new skill to use. In an instant, his dagger struck the Ant King's weak points again and again, mutilating the beast with deadly precision. The Ant King howled, a sound of pure agony echoing through the cavern. While the creature writhed in pain, Jinwoo's blade struck once more. A long black limb fell limply to the ground, severed. Desperation overtook the Ant King. Pride, revenge, all abandoned. Survival instincts surged to the forefront. With a mighty push, he launched himself into the air, wings flaring, intent on escaping. But Jinwoo wasn't about to let him get away. The Ant King sensed the hunter closing in and glanced back, his eyes widening. The human is flying? Jinwoo had propelled himself upward with ruler's hand, chasing the airborne king without hesitation. In a swift, precise strike, he cut off one of the Ant King's wings. The Ant King began to plummet toward the ground, panic twisting through his massive frame. I have to think of something I'm better at. Strength, speed, even his secret weapon, venom, had failed against the human. Every advantage he had relied upon had crumbled. He was running out of options. Did he not possess a single edge? Then, just before despair consumed him, the Ant King remembered one last resource: numbers. The human was but one opponent, while he commanded an army of thousands of ants. His loyal warriors waited, ready to strike at his command. With his remaining hand, the Ant King pointed at Jinwoo, struggling to pull himself upright. The furious screech echoed through the cavern, and the swarm of ants poured inside, rushing to their king's side. "What now, human?" The scream didn't waver. It was a desperate attempt to reclaim pride and bolster the morale of his soldiers. The Ant King leveled a confident gaze at Jinwoo. But even as he tried to assert dominance, a sea of shadows surged from the other side of the den. Go, Jinwoo commanded his army. The monarch's domain, still active from earlier, amplified his shadow soldiers, empowering them to charge with terrifying speed and strength. The cavern trembled with the thunderous footsteps of Jinwoo's shadow soldiers, echoing like a storm of steel and shadow. Last but not least, Jinwoo summoned Fang. The monstrous creature looked around, scratching the back of his head as if feeling awkward at being called forth all on his own. Jinwoo's voice was firm as he handed Fang the sphere of avarice. Only target the ants. If so much as a spark touches any of the humans, I won't be summoning you ever again. Fang gave a confident nod. Then, after sizing himself up with the Song of Giants, he unleashed tremendous pillars of fire. Even though Jinwoo had seen Fang perform this countless times, he couldn't help but be amazed. The flames, they keep getting bigger. Perhaps it was because Fang's level had increased. While Jinwoo marveled at the familiar sight, the other hunters were utterly stunned. They had been intently watching the battle between Jinwoo and the Ant King when suddenly a monstrous minion appeared before them. They all gasped, some more loudly than others. "That's a minion? You're honestly telling me that's a minion?" Taegu yelped, pointing at Fang. The other hunters' mouths hung open in disbelief. From Fang's sheer size and devastating abilities, he seemed more like a demon king incarnate than a mere servant. Meanwhile, the ants were incinerated by Fang's blazing pillars, one after another. The Ant King began to tremble. If you enjoyed this story, leave a comment saying Season 3. Your support will inspire me to create the narration for the next season.